Jamie McCoy made me want to run through a wall for Texas A&M and come back for another year of eligibility. I'm out of eligibility, but I would do it for it. So let's talk to Jordan Pugh, who I know is going to do the exact same thing for me on the Boss Firearms Hotline. Mr. Pugh, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. You know, your homegirls over here gave me a little head cold. So, you know, nobody tells you that when you got girls, man. They all in your face all the time. So I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Well, from a life perspective, I'm okay. All right. Like, my dad just got out of the hospital, so that's good news.
Okay.
So
good news, yeah.
Moving in the right direction there. He was in a car accident last week, but he's home now. 4 broken ribs. He had a punctured lung, so that part sucked last week. But he's 94. He's kicking. All right. I'm just giving an update.
Yeah.
From a football perspective, I suck. I'm not in a good place.
Yeah.
I wish I were in a good place. But I'm not. Yeah. Jordan, how are you?
Well, we got to take it in 2 components. We got to take it from the game, and we got to take it from the overall season. All right. So from the game, I'm highly disappointed in the game. We got thoroughly outplayed, and we got outcoached. Okay. So the physicality standpoint from the game is what really surprised me, man. I'm surprised that our guys didn't rise to the occasion, because I've been saying this all year, and I will stand on it, man. Our talent level is there, but they have got to execute. They got to produce. They got to show up. All right. Now, with that being said, I thought that game plan wise, I was really disappointed in how we executed. You know, I texted you this during the game, man. The alignments that we still show on defense, for the life of me, I can't understand why we don't adjust to that and why we have not fixed that problem. Texas just exploited that. From a player standpoint, we missed plays. We had 2 interceptions that could have changed the game. We had a missed sack on that 3rd down, I think on the 2nd drive where Quinn broke out for that long run. If we get that play, man, that changes momentum. I don't understand some of the play calling that we did, like their first series not taking the 3 points. Man, you got the crowd into it. Take the lead, building the momentum. When you look at the offensive standpoint, here was the most disappointing thing to me from the game. We have a year sample size worth of Marcel. Okay, so let's call it 6 to 7 games. All right, you know what he's good at. I saw an offensive scheme that was trying to fit Marcel into a box instead of fitting the scheme around Marcel. There were so many opportunities, man, where we could have used his feet. There's a lot of things that we could have done to help him. And I think that we failed in that aspect when it comes to a schematic standpoint. I didn't see a lot of adjustments. I thought our game plan going in was weak. I saw that Texas had a very simple game plan. They just exploited a lot of things that we didn't fix throughout the season. A lot of things that South Carolina exposed, a lot of things that Auburn exposed. Now, from a season standpoint, I thought this was a hell of a first year. When you look at what Elko has done, when you look at the 8-4 record, I know everybody talks about the battered Aggie syndrome. I get it. But in year number 1, you had us playing for a shot to go straight to the SEC championship game. And when you look at the trajectory of what we're doing, we look at how we're building, you have to be excited. You have to be inspired. You have to be motivated at what's to come, right? I think, man, from a season point success, if you say 8 wins, you say with the right to play Texas at home for a berth in the SEC championship, that's a success. But from this singular game, from this standpoint, I am highly disappointed in the players. I'm highly disappointed in the coaching staff because we're better than that. We're way better than what we displayed. We're way better than what we displayed over the past 3 weeks. But most importantly, this game in particular, man, I thought we would have been able to fix a lot of the woes that we had. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm excited about the season. I'm excited about what was year 1. But this past weekend, man, we missed a big opportunity. And I think that's what a lot of people are upset about. The opportunity was there. And at what point will we finally break that wall down and cross over to the other side? And I think that's where a lot of people, a lot of Aggies are disappointed today.
Yeah, 100. Well, I don't know if I 100% agree because the 8-4 tastes different the way it ended, right? 8-4 preseason would have been like, oh, that's a nice year. 8-4 losing your last 3 SEC games doesn't feel the same to me when you're 7-1.
Well, I mean, that's recency bias, and I understand that. But also at the same time, we still put ourselves in a position to control our own destiny. Mm-hmm. We haven't been in that position in a long time, a very long time. And so when you look at the totality of it, when you break down the totality of it, that's a success. You look at what we're doing on the recruiting side, that's a success. But when we're talking about a season-ending game, we're talking about against our rival, we're talking about the anticipation, the hype, but most importantly, what everybody is speaking to is the opportunity. You knew after we lost the South Carolina game, the opportunity was still there. You knew after we lost the Auburn game, the opportunity was still there. You knew going into the Texas game, here is our chance to finally break through. finally, in people's minds, beat Big Brother for whatever reason, right? And we squandered that opportunity. That's what I think everybody is upset about. That's what I'm upset about. That's what I'm disappointed in. But when we look at the totality of what Elko is building, when we look at year one and look at what he has done, look at the adverse situations that we went through as a team. Starting quarterback gets hurt. Backup comes in. Starting quarterback comes back in. Backup ends up becoming the starter. You're looking at the injuries in the running back position. You're looking at guys switching and moving all over the place. For Elko to be able to manage that, and not only manage it, but get us into a position to play for the SEC championship, that's what I think we got to get our minds back wrapped on, right? We can't be focused solely on how it ended, which that's a big part. And everybody knows, man, if there's something I'm not happy about, I'm going to say it. But the totality of the season was a success. But this game in particular, we got to be better than that. That's unacceptable.
Jordan, let's say 4th and 1, you decide to go for it, right?
Yep.
In both of those situations, what play are you calling?
Well, first things first. On both fourths, I wouldn't have gone for it on the first one. I would have got the points. I'm going up 3. Okay. Now, when we get down to the goal line, I about lost my mind. I don't know if I texted you or not after that play. I couldn't believe we ran that play, right? Texas has shown us throughout the entire game, man, that we couldn't penetrate through the middle, right? Between inside zone, split zone that we were trying to run, they were just dominating us up front. I would have spread the formation out. I would have gone empty because I would have made them clear the box. If they don't want to cover down on our receivers, we throw a quick pass out. Or I say, my guy, Marcel, is better than your guy. And we got 1 yard to get. I can get that touchdown. I'm emptying the box. I'm reducing the amount of numbers. I'm creating a one-on-one opportunity. And I'm placing my bet on Marcel for 1 yard. That's what I would have done. Man, being able to come into a heavy formation, a heavy package, you condense the field down. You have them load up the box. They're already rolling. They already have confidence from stops previously in the game. Man, you're playing right in their wheelhouse. And then 3 guys go unblocked on that goal line play. Amari had no chance. I just think that the creativity is what really disappointed me. I didn't see anything. Sark was running the same plays over and over again. He was running inside zone. He was running counter. He was running outside zone. And all he did was throw tricks and motions to get the eyes occupied. That's all he did. There was creativity in it. Why can't we do that? That's the part that drove me crazy. So, man, I would have emptied that box. I would have more creativity, and I would allow my playmaker to do what he does on that 1 yard line.
Talking to Jordan Pugh here on TexAgs Live. Jordan, I did this with OB earlier in the show. I'll do it with you. Met expectations, did not meet expectations. We're going to go through each position group, all right?
Okay, let's do it.
Quarterback room.
What you want to know?
Did they meet expectations or no?
No.
I agree.
Because my expectations were out of this world for Connor. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was a schematic. I don't know if he lost confidence. I don't know what it was, but he wasn't the Connor that we've seen previously. He wasn't the Connor that was coming out of high school as a high-rated recruit. Now, with that being said, I would say we were average. I say they were above expectation, or they were below expectation. They were right above it with the way Marcel came in. We saw that we have a quarterback of the future. We saw that we have an athlete who's dynamic, who can create plays. So from that standpoint, I think if we were solely going off Connor, it's a disappointment. I think if we're solely going off Marcel, there's hope.
That's how I said the room overall did not meet expectations, but Marcel Reed exceeded my expectations of what he could do in his first year.
Yes.
Running back room, met or not?
I thought they met expectation. For the scenarios that we were placed in, man, losing our number one guy before the season started, seeing the rise of Le'Veon and how he played, and looking at what we did down the stretch, I thought we met expectation. I thought we played well. Even in those 2 games against South Carolina and Auburn, man, we still were able to come back through the run game. Now, this Texas game was the one anomaly out of that group. But overall, the expectation of the room, man, was met. And I think we can exceed it moving forward.
Yeah, and maybe they exceeded my expectations considering you lost Reuben Owens. And then Le'Veon goes down, and I thought Amari played great. So, offensive line, met expectations, did not meet expectations, exceeded expectations. Uh-oh.
I tell you what. I was thinking about this all weekend. I think that they exceeded expectations.
Okay.
We lost starters from day one, from game one. We were mixing and matching O-line guys all year long, and I thought that they played well. One of the biggest strengths that we have was our running game. Everybody talks about the loss of Le'Veon Moss and how that hurt our running game. Well, our running back is only as good as his offensive line. And so I thought that the offensive line met expectations. I don't think they exceeded them by any means, but I thought they met expectations, man, and they played well. We just got to get the physicality up. But overall, I thought they met expectations.
All right. Let's talk about tight ends.
No, they didn't meet expectations. I thought now to give a caveat there, I don't think we utilized them the best way either.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give them a way out. I think we could have utilized them a lot better. It's a lot different when you know that you're a part of the game plan. When you're part of the game plan, man, there's a little energy to you, man. There's more invested. And I think a lot of what happened this season with the Titans, man, they knew that they weren't big in the game plan. I think that, man, we underutilized those guys. They could have been more effective. So I would say no, they didn't meet the expectation.
Wide receivers.
No. Our playmakers are better than that. Everybody keeps saying how we're deficient in the receiver room. No, we're not. I don't think we had any creativity or enough creativity within the offense. I thought our offense was very limited by how we were calling plays. And it made us very predictable. So if you're predictable, man, it's easy to be able to dial up coverages, dial up zone pressures, to be able to confuse the quarterback, but also take away windows from our receiver position. So I don't think they met expectation, but I think a lot of it had to do with the creativity on offense.
Defensive line.
If you would have asked me this after week 7, I would have been like, yes. The last 3 games, no. I don't know what happened. I don't know where the fall off happened. I don't know if they were asked to do certain things, but they didn't meet expectations overall. No. Our D-line, you're going to see guys playing on Sunday, and they should have been more dominant, especially down the stretch. So, no, they didn't meet expectations for me.
Yeah, I thought they were going to have 5 sacks week 1. They didn't. Yep. They didn't. They had 0 in that game? So, all right. Linebackers.
Yes. I thought they met expectations.
Really? Okay.
Actually, well, as a core, I thought they met expectations. I thought Scooby Williams took them over the top. I think Scooby's one of the most underrated guys that we haven't really talked about all year. He played effective, man. He affected the game more than what people thought. I think that, and I can put this fault on me, I think that we were so wrapped up in the D-line that we missed out on what Scooby was really doing, right? So I think that overall, as a group from the linebacker position, I think they met expectations. You can still got to say, man, our defense, if we go back to the Texas game, man, we held them to 17 points. Like, we still held them to a 17-point deal. So our play from the linebacker position, really our front, was good. But I think certain people exceeded what we thought they were going to do.
Cornerbacks.
No.
Really?
No.
Okay. I thought they made max. They were better than last year.
I thought they were good.
Okay.
I thought they were good. But when you get down into the let's say the last 3 games, when you get down into these games where it's must have, we gave up too many big plays. And we gave it too many big plays because there's too many mental busts. And I think it was too many mental busts from our corners specifically. Watching the game, seeing them out of position. We had some guys go down. I just think overall they could have played better. They could have helped us out in a lot of spots. So I would say no for the corner position.
All right. Safeties.
Yes. I thought the safeties did.
Really? Okay.
When I looked at Brooks was a hell of a player. Anderson kind of he underwhelmed me a little bit in this season. I thought that he would be better. When you look at Ratliff coming in, I thought he played well. When you look at the core group of what we did from the safety position, I thought they played well. We can't get safeties confused with the corners. I think the corners gave up too many big plays. I think the safeties helped us at times, helped us get out of bad situations at times based off placement, understanding concepts. So I thought they met expectation. All
right. And then the season probably met your expectations, right? 8-4 is probably, I don't remember what your preseason expectations were.
No. My expectation is always to win championships.
Okay.
Point blank, period. At the beginning of the season, I told you it's not a talent issue with us. We have the talent. It's not about that. Now, when we look at the totality of the season, it's a success from year one standards. But overall, when I look at the talent, when I look at what Elko was bringing to the table, when I look at what we possess, man, we did not meet that expectation. Now, remember, going into the season, we had Connor. Everybody had Connor picked as a first-round NFL draft pick. We're looking at what we had on the defensive line and what they did or what they could do with the type of talent that we had there, man, we had everything we needed in order to be successful, in order to play for the SEC championship this weekend. We had that, and we were there literally a couple of days ago. So when you ask me, did we meet the expectation? No. But if you also ask me, was year one a success from a global standpoint? Yes.
And then, were you surprised how the trenches were so one-sided in this game?
Yes, I was very surprised. That's where, when people ask me what I thought about the game and why I thought we would win, because I thought that we were underrated in the trenches. I thought that we would be more physical within the trenches. I didn't see that coming with Texas because I didn't see that type of physicality all year. I didn't see that all year from Texas. And so that was one of the biggest disappointments, because we're better than that. We're more capable than that. And I don't know where we got lost, what happened. I don't know if there was injury. I don't know what it was. But at the end of the day, they whooped us and we didn't whoop them. That's what it boiled down to. That was a big disappointment for me.
So if you're going to hang your hat on something for Optimism for 25, okay?
Yep.
And the schedule is the same schedule. We're reversing it, right? You're going to Arkansas because you haven't, the series that Jerry World's done. You're going to Notre Dame. You're going to South Bend. You're going to Texas. You're going to Baton Rouge. All right, and then you'll flip the other games. Mississippi State will come here. South Carolina will come here. South Carolina looks like they could be a mainstay because I think Lenore Sellers has still got time with that team, and a lot of that defense is coming back. So when you look at that, do you have optimism for 25, considering what the schedule? Okay.
Yes.
Tell it.
The reason why, because we created some depth on the defensive line, but most importantly, we have Marcel, we have Ruben Owens, we have Le'Veon Moss. We have those three coming back. We have a core coming back now. And now you have an offseason implemented game plan to be able to fit Marcel, develop him for another season. When you're looking at what we have from a defensive standpoint, you have some mainstays there. Talent is not an issue for us. Now it's taking that and it's developing it. But with the core that we have, understanding that we found a quarterback for the future, we still have a running back stable that's going to be there. Man, we have the core ingredients that you need. Now we just need to be able to add the other pieces around that in order to take it to another level.
Jordan, great stuff as always, my friend. Thank you so much for making a few minutes, man. And let's do something around the bowl game, all right?
All right, let's do it.
All right, man. Thank you very much. Jordan Pugh here on TexAgs Live.